These are all the books that I'm hoping to read during the month of December. It's usually a shorter reading month for me because all of my best, most surprising, most disappointing, and worst books of the year are coming out towards mid to end of the year. So I'm trying to squeeze in as many books as possible beforehand. And after that, I take a mix of a break and trying to catch up to some books. You'll see. So the first book I will be picking up is part of our book club on Patreon, and you chose the second book in this series. We just read the first book. Actually, let me put the first book on the screen. So we're going to be reading the second book, which is What Feast at Night. So you follow the main character, and they are invited, after surviving the first book, to this hunting lodge family estate, and they go there, and then I'm assuming more horror stuff is going to happen. Poor them, they don't have one resting moment. So once again, fairly short. The main character is an ex-soldier, so 150 pages. They're going through it, and I'm hoping that this is going to be once again a mix of horror, but I like the humor. I'm hoping that they're going to do the same thing in this one. So that's the first one we shall pick up. Also, I was meant to read our classic for the last quarter of the year. I have yet to do that, so like I'm gonna have to rush a little bit. This is Far from the Madding Crowd, which I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this one. So before the end of the year, I need to sneak that one in because it's almost 400 pages. From what I understand, the main female character has 3 men after her, and I think one male character is like on the list of people saying that it's one of the best characters. Like they love him as a character. Yeah, she has 3 suitors. A dashing young soldier, a respectable middle-aged farmer, and then the other main character, which I don't know anything about him from the back, so I'll let you know how that one goes, but I've heard great things. I think there's an adaptation. I feel like a lot of classics do, so I'm gonna have to try and sneak that one in before the end of the month for sure. My first reading vlog of December is going to be the continuation of a Read It or Unhaul It that I'm currently doing. I'm doing them back to back because it gives me a couple more days to do them. So I'm hoping I'm going to have fun with that because it's the last one of the year. But I also wanted to try to do a vlog where I read some new releases from this year because I feel like most, if not almost all, of the books that I read that were published in 2024 were disappointing or straight up bad. I feel like none of them were like all-time favorite, unless I'm forgetting something, because I quickly looked and I read maybe like 10, and I don't think any of them is going to make it to my best books of the year. So I wanted to try to read some that could be. So the first one we have is The Wedding People. A lot of you told me that this one was actually worth it. It is one of the nominees also even on Goodreads in the fiction category for their Choice Awards. And this one you're following this female character that arrives to, is it a hotel? It's an inn. And there's a wedding going on at that inn. She's basically one of the only person there that isn't there for that reason. She was meant to be here with her husband, and I don't think he makes it. And she ended up talking a lot to the bride, and things happened. I will see, because a lot of you told me whenever I mentioned that one on the list of the Goodreads Choice Award that I was looking at because it has great ratings. A lot of you told me that you loved that one. So I'm hoping that between the 3, this is going to be my 5-star for 2024 release. So another book that came out this year that has been getting some buzz is this one. This is James Percival Everett, and this is a retelling of Huckleberry Finn, which I haven't read that many English classics. Well, yes, but just some categories of them, like Jane Austen. So the main character hears that he's going to be sold and taken away from his wife and daughter, and he runs away. I think he fakes his death. It's a retelling. I'm not at all familiar with Huckleberry Finn, like I was saying, so I don't know how I'm going to feel about that portion. I feel like I'm not going to have that background, but I might end up enjoying it quite a bit since it's a retelling, and it has been getting some hype, and I do like to try books that are a bit outside of my comfort zone, so this is the one that is a bit more outside of what I usually read. And then last but not least for that vlog, I wanted to read this one. This is The God of the Woods, because so many of you told me that you love this one, and I really wanted to give it a shot because I had read Bright Long River by the same author, and I went into it with the wrong expectations. Even though I liked it fine, I was disappointed because I had heard this was a murder mystery, and it was more like family drama. And I feel like your own expectations can affect, your enjoyment. It's not the book's fault. So this time I'm prepared. I think it's going to be similar. It's technically murder mystery, but there's more like family drama. So this one is set in a summer camp in the 70s, and a little girl, 13-year-old girl, one day everyone wakes up and she's not in her bed, and she's also the daughter of the owners, I think the family that owns the summer camp. So I feel like it's going to be, again, similar, like family drama, but also a mystery. Hopefully no murder. I don't know yet. So Also something that so many of you loved and I'm hoping will work for me. And again, because I'm going into it with different expectations, hopefully I will enjoy it more than the other one. If I do have time, there's also another 2024 release I was hoping to read because I've enjoyed Matt Haig, but I have very, very low expectations of this one because so many of you, and just the rating in general is really terrible for this one. This is The Life Impossible, and I believe you're following this main female character who received a letter and her old friend passed away and left her, like, is it a house in an island? A Mediterranean island. So she goes there to like find herself, but yeah, everyone seems to hate this. It happens that everyone else hate a book and I love it, so I'm still going to read it eventually. If I have time, I'll try it this month, but the next one, I'm hoping I'm gonna have time for it. We'll see if it happens, but I just bought this book. This is everything you ever wanted, and I had seen people say that this was similar to I Who Have Never Known Men, which is one of my all-time favorite books, and I will try anything that someone compares to a favorite book, and 99% of the time I disagree, but this one decided to take the risk because the premise does appeal to me anyway. The main character wakes up every day, goes to work, comes back home, scrolls on Instagram or stuff on YouTube, whatever, and she's really bored with life, so she decides to participate into this program where she gets the chance to go in space on a different planet, and she can come back if she decides to do so, but she decides to take the risk. She's trying to find basically meaning for her life. So I don't really care if it's going to be similar to the other one or not, but I thought the premise sounded intriguing. So I will hopefully be picking that up. Then last but not least, for the physical books, I will not be reading that much for the second half of the month, or more like the last third of the month, because I will be still posting a bunch of videos, but I won't be posting my best or worst. So usually I try to focus on nonfictions or something, but I do have this gigantic brick that is part of my pile of shame. This is Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. I am a third into this book. I have been a third into this book for months now, and it's part of what I call my pile of shame, the books I just didn't finish for no reason. So it needs to happen, and I feel like I can maybe read the last 600 pages, most of it before the end of the year, and then probably would be my first finished book of the year for next year. I don't know. It's a contender. I do really want to read this one. Like, at this point, I'm so discouraged by it. It took me 2 years to pick up finally the third book in this series and then, put it down a third into it. A lot of you told me that you did the same thing for whatever reason. This book seems to make people put it down, but like, I know it's going to be a fantastic book. I was enjoying it. I love the world building. This is a fantastic series, but like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say at this point. I want to continue it. And like I said, it could be the last book I almost finish before the end of the year. I will have time. If not, I'll read it early January, hopefully. And now for audiobooks. I usually listen to a ton of audiobooks, and I just don't have that many that I could get anytime soon because I've been trying to put a lot of books that are like new release-ish on there, so the waiting list is longer. But I do have a nonfiction called It's Not Hysteria, Everything You Need to Know About Your Reproductive Health, But We're Never Told. I've been trying to read more like medical nonfiction related to the female body because we are neglected. So I have that one that could happen. I have a lot of nonfictions, actually. I'm realizing I have a lot of nonfiction, but I don't want to find new favorites after I've posted my best of the year, So that's why I usually focus on nonfiction in December. I could finally try to finish this other series by Brandon Sanderson. This is The Lost Metal. This is also part of my pile of shame. It's 19 hours, so like it would take me the whole month. But one that I want to try and listen to before my best worst of the year is Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. This might make it to my worst. Listen, this is a new release, 2024 release, and this is my last chance by him. I have heard extremely mixed ratings about this book and reviews. I want to know. I'm tired of seeing it. People either love it or hate it, and I'm curious. And like I said, this is going to be my third book by the author, and it might be my last. We'll see. One that you guys recommended to me whenever I was looking at the Goodreads Choice Award nominees is Anibot, which is a adult sci-fi, and I think it's a relationship between a female robot and her owner. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it. The premise sounds to me, but a lot of you said to try it, so I will. If I hate it, I hate it. If I love it, I love it. So I feel that's why I love using my library, because it's low stakes. Like, I can just return it if I don't like it. And I think that's pretty much all that's going to be available for me during the month of December. So I don't know. December is always kind of stressful because I'm posting all my end of the year videos. I'm trying to sneak in so many videos, like 15, 16 in 1 month. It's a lot, so I don't have that much time to read, but I will definitely do my read it and haul it and then the new releases. And then after that, it will be free for all. I'll probably focus on nonfiction and the stupid brick. I'm gonna start resenting that book, even though I love it, because I just can't seem to finish it. But that's life. So December, usually a fairly short TBR. I feel like I'm trying to sneak in too many books on this TBR, but we're gonna do our best. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs up, subscribe. Let me know which ones you think I should focus on, and I'll put more videos on the screen that I recommend you check out, and I will see you soon. Are you excited for the end of your videos? Because I am. Bye.